They called it Recon 7, a lush exoplanet orbiting a twin sun system on the edge of the Vega Drift. I'd been sent in as part of an elite Terran scout unit. Silent, fast, efficient. We didn't make friends. We didn't get attached. Our job was to scan, tag, report, and get out. The planet was supposedly uninhabited. That's what the mission briefing said anyway. All intelligence pointed to a long-dead civilization, abandoned ruins swallowed by vines and fog. But the moment my boots touched the moss-soft ground, I knew the data was off. The air was rich with warmth and an eerie musical hum, like the world was alive and breathing in rhythm. A ruined tower loomed in the distance, poking through the emerald canopy like a broken tooth. I moved toward it, rifle slung across my back, helmet HUD flickering with static. As I stepped through the shattered entrance of the tower, I heard the voice. "Put down your weapon, Terran." Clear. And far too calm for someone confronting a soldier armed to the teeth. Froze. A woman stood halfway up the vine-wrapped staircase, half in shadow. Her skin shimmered faintly with a bioluminescent glow, casting soft gold across her face. She wore robes of plant thread silk that clung to her like living armor. But what hit me the hardest, what made my breath catch, was her smile. It wasn't hostile. It wasn't scared. It was sad, curious, and gentle. "You're not supposed to be here," she said, stepping closer. "But you are." "Who are you?" I asked, instinctively tightening my grip on my rifle. "Not your enemy," she replied. "But that depends on what you do next." Middle. Her name was Elira. She was a ward of the Emissari, the species we thought had gone extinct after the last stellar war. But she insisted her people had only retreated beneath the surface of the planet, hiding from those who brought fire from the stars. "I've been watching your people," she told me, seated beside a glowing spring inside the ruins. "You build and break. You seek and conquer. You don't know how to listen anymore." "I'm not here to conquer," I told her. "Just scout." "Is that what you tell yourself?" she asked, voice light but piercing. At first I wanted to dismiss her, chalk her up as a hallucination, a remnant AI maybe. But the way she moved, breathed, even bled, I'd seen her hand scrape against the stone, confirmed she was very much alive, real, and impossibly aware of more than any mission should allow. Our conversations stretched into hours. I should have reported back. I should have marked the location and waited for extraction. But Elira had a way of speaking that made time vanish, like listening to the wind describe its journey across the galaxy. She told me about the Emissari's downfall, about how humans had mistaken their energy-laced architecture for power cores and ripped them apart for mining, how First Contact had turned to last defense in a matter of weeks, and how she was the last song-bearer, a living memory keeper, tasked with preserving emotion, history, and dreams. I didn't understand at first why she shared so much with me. But on the fourth night, under a canopy of bioluminescent trees, she simply said, "Because you listen. You don't look at me like I'm a target." That night I didn't sleep. I sat beside her until the second sun rose, bathing her in pink light. Her smile wasn't in any mission file. Neither was the way her voice made the air feel heavier when she spoke my name. "Kale," she said, testing my name on her tongue. "That word means stillness in our tongue. Curious, isn't it?" She touched my chest right over the armor's reactor node and whispered, "And yet, your heart is loud." Then I made the mistake of reporting her. Protocol demanded it. A sentient presence had to be logged and evaluated by command. I didn't tell them everything, not her name, not her gift, but I uploaded a vague bioscan and location ping before sleeping. By morning she was gone. So was the tower. Like it had never existed. The middle of the forest was now a crater. I screamed into comms, demanding answers. Central Command responded an hour later. We neutralized an anomalous energy source. Threat classification: Emissari type ghost. Mission terminated. Return to extraction point immediately. I dropped my gear in rage. They didn't even try to understand her. They didn't even ask. Middle part 2. I deserted. I tracked the faint echoes she left behind. Bioluminescent patterns etched into the bark of trees, melodies embedded in whispering winds. Days turned to weeks. I rationed supplies, wandered valleys, fought off fauna that had been twisted by residual war energies. But every step brought me closer. And then I found her. Hidden beneath a crystalline dome deep in the ocean trench, breathing through a stasis shell wrapped in living coral. She wasn't dead, but she was close. Her connection to the planet's energy field was fractured by whatever orbital strike command had ordered. I pressed my hand to the dome. "I'm sorry," I whispered. "I should have never reported you." The coral responded to my voice. A ring of light pulsed beneath my palm. Her eyelids fluttered. "Kale." I swore I'd bring her back. I spent 3 weeks building a resonance amplifier using salvaged tech from my dropship. I siphoned energy from geothermal vents and redirected planetary harmonics into her stasis unit. Every time I thought I was close, something failed. Then I remembered her words. "You don't listen." So I did. I shut off the machines, sat beside her, and sang. Not a melody I knew, but the sounds of the forest we walked in, the bubbling spring, her laughter echoing near ancient stones. I wove them into something imperfect and raw and human. And she woke. Not all at once. But her fingers moved. Her lips parted. "You stayed," she whispered. "Yes," I said. "Because you were right. Listening matters." Ending. We didn't go back to Earth. We didn't return to orbit. Instead, we moved through the forgotten places, awakening what little remained of her people's memory. She taught me their ways. How to communicate with plant song, how to hear the grief of stone, how to be present in a world that had too long been silenced. Command declared me Kia 6 months later. No body. No wreckage. Just an empty helmet at a crater site. I was fine with that. Because I'd never felt more alive. Alira and I rebuilt the tower. Not as it once was, but as a hybrid of her people's grace and my people's resilience. It stood as a symbol. Beacon. A question to the stars. What if we stopped conquering and started connecting? Some days, we would sit atop it as twin suns dipped below the horizon. I would play melodies on an old Terran harmonizer. She would hum her answers, voice blending with wind and light. And once, as we watched the clouds swirl like ink, I asked, "Why did you trust me?" She smiled. That same heart-aching smile I saw on the staircase long ago. "Because you stayed," she said. "Even when the galaxy told you to leave." Her smile wasn't in the mission briefing. But her words made me stay forever.